Nick. Since I haven't seen Charlie for half an hour, I think now might be a good time to go looking for him again, even if he is in a mood with me. What is his deal, though? He's actually starting to piss me off a bit now. I've done nothing for him to be in a mood with me about. I find him in the basement and he's just sitting in a corner with his friend Alice, so I go over to him, hoping that his weird, bad mood has gone away. But as I barge through the dancers, getting closer and closer, I start to realise that his cheeks are damp and he's been crying. And that's when I start to feel seriously concerned. Something's definitely wrong. I kneel down next to him and Alice gives me this panicked look like he doesn't know what to do. Charlie rolls his head towards me and he's even drunker than earlier, if that's possible. No wonder he's sitting on the floor in the basement. "What's wrong?" I shout over the music. He laughs, but it looks wrong. Something is really wrong. "Are you going to start talking about university again?" "What?" "It's pissing me off so much, Nick." I squint at him and ask, "Pissing you off?" But he just mumbles something in reply and I can't hear him properly. Then he pulls me towards him with one arm and kisses me. I quickly discover drunk kisses are not fun when one person is sober. I can feel the dampness of his cheeks and he tastes of alcohol. It takes a few seconds for me to actually realise what's happening, and in that time I blink and see Alid make a look of startled distress, stand up and walk away. I gently push Charlie off me. "No, you're drunk." "Nick." Charlie tries to lean forward again, but I just lean backwards. "Charlie, you're acting really weird." "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are." I pull him by the arm so we're both standing. He staggers and grabs onto my arm with both hands. "Come on, let's go upstairs." He doesn't answer, so I lead him back through the dancers and back upstairs, where it's nearly empty now. Almost everyone is dancing in the basement. I guide him to the conservatory, which is, as I'd hoped, empty and quiet, apart from the rain that's pummeling against the glass roof. I sit him down on the armchair again and crouch in front of him. "What's going on?" He doesn't look at me, or even seem to have heard me. "Char." I say this a little louder, and this time he meets my eyes. "Why are you acting like this?" "What?" he snaps, shaking his head. "What am I acting like?" "Like, 1 minute you're seriously pissed off with me, and the next you want to get off with me." He bends over and puts his head in his hands. I feel sick. "For fuck's sake!" I stand up. This is hopeless. "Why are you being such a dick?" He doesn't move. "Just talk to me," I say. He says nothing. "You can't be angry at me if you can't even tell me what I'm doing wrong." He makes a groaning noise and shakes his head in his hands. "Fucking hell," I say, sitting down heavily on the sofa opposite. "Well, I don't fucking know what to do then." "Stop shouting at me," he mumbles from behind his hands. "I am not shouting at you. You are." We sit in silence for a minute, until a particularly loud thunder crash makes me jump. Charlie notices and raises his head. "You can break up with me if you want," he says. It takes a few seconds to process that. "What?" I say. I stand up again and feel myself really getting angry now. What is he talking about? Where the hell has this come from? "What the fuck are you talking about?" "If you want a fresh start or something, if you think long distance is too hard." His eyes are unfocused again, his words slurring. Lightning flashes overhead, brightening the room. Why is he saying these things? "What? Is that what you want?" I huff out a laugh. This can't be happening. "You want us to break up, is that it?" "I just want you to be happy." "Bullshit," I spit out, my voice definitely too loud now. "Ellen Tower breaking up." "What? So we need to break up too? You're not even going to try to stay in a relationship with me?" Part of me wants to talk this out rationally, but most of me is just pure anger, and I don't even know why. I think I'm just tired of all this bullshit and all this university talk, and remembering that I've only got a few months left with Charlie. Why are you saying these things, Charlie? If you're trying to break up with me, just fucking spit it out. But I don't want him to. I feel like I'm about to be sick. Charlie just shakes his head and stares blankly at the space next to me. Is that why you've been acting like this? I say. You want to break up with me, but you're not even fucking brave enough to say it. You want to force me to break up with you instead. He's crying again now, his head shaking from side to side and his knees bobbing up and down, but he doesn't say anything. He doesn't deny it. Well, fuck you then, I say, and that's when I realise that I'm crying too. God, how long's it been since that happened? And then he raises his head and full-on shouts at me. Well, it's me who's getting left behind. He points towards somewhere indeterminable outside and his voice breaks. You're fucking off to university, where you'll meet loads of new people, and it's me who's getting left behind. We keep being like, oh, everything's going to be fine, we'll FaceTime loads, blah, 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 but it's not going to be all right, is it? He gestures wildly, his eyes darting around the room. It's not going to be all right, it's going to be crap for me. I'm going to be stuck in this shitty town all by myself, but here you are, talking about it like it's the fucking best thing ever. And you know what? It makes me feel like shit. It's like you're looking forward to getting rid of me. Like you can't wait to finally get out of here and get away from me. What the fuck? I shout back, running a hand through my hair. What do you want me to do? Not go to university? No, because that sounds like what you're saying. No, I'm not. You've got no fucking right to be annoyed with me about that. I'm a year older than you. I'm going to university in September. That's just the way it is. He stares at me, eyes wide and filled with tears, and then he looks down. Why are you being like this? Mate, what the fuck am I being like? Charlie looks up again, and when he moves his hand, his eyes are thin slits. Don't call me mate. You never call me mate. I just shake my head and let out a huff of exasperation. You really are being a proper dickhead tonight, aren't you? Just leave then, he shouts. The rain falls harder than ever. I can barely hear him over the noise. Fuck off then! Yeah, fine. No problem. And that's it. I walk out of the room. Standing in the corridor is Tao Zhu, who has probably heard every word. God, this is all his and Elle's fault. If they hadn't fucking broken up in the first place, Charlie wouldn't... He wouldn't want to... He wouldn't have thought that he... Is he... Are you okay? Tao stutters. See what you've done, I say, stepping past him. Fuck you. He cowers back. I want to say something else to him, but I can't think of anything. My mind's gone blank. I'm still processing what's just happened. What has happened? Everything was fine yesterday. This can't be the end. This can't possibly be the end. I barge through the people chatting and smiling and laughing in the living room until I'm out of the house and in the rain. And by the time I reach my car, I'm soaked and shivering. I turn the engine on, but I just end up sitting in my car for 20 minutes. Maybe because I'm too scared to drive when I can still hear thunder in the distance. Or maybe because I'm hoping Charlie's going to run out of the house and open the door and say that everything he'd said was a drunken mistake. But he doesn't. So I just sit there.